Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome on here at SNSN. Hey, Paul.
Morning.
You're there.
I'm here.
It's a beautiful Wednesday morning, and the sun is shining, and we haven't seen that in a couple days.
It's a cool Wednesday morning.
It was pretty chilly last night, was it not?
Yeah, I think it was like 33, maybe 34.
And guess who had the fan on last night?
You did.
This guy.
Oh, well, you like the fan. Huh?
I do. I do. I like having the fan on. It's comforting to me. You know, yeah. Do you have any special things that you use, like to sleep? You know, to help you
Open
sleep?
a window.
Open a window does it for you?
And
I'm talking about all year round. I'm not talking about
no. I play music for Alexa plays me Spa on Exxon Radio.
Oh, okay, all right.
That's how.
Kind of like they play at the counselors down the hall. when we walk by.
Yeah, it's very. Yeah. That's what.
And that'll put you to sleep. See, that'll keep my attention.
No,
that's the
I
problem.
don't put it on loud. It's soft background.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, by the way, you got your SNSN logo behind you.
I saw that.
Yeah. And Victoria says you look like you're floating.
Floating?
Yeah. Well, Victoria, it's because he's stoned. No. Paul doesn't.
No, not
we
stoned.
do not partake in those things.
Not a thing. No, we don't do any of that stuff.
No.
Yeah.
So I need there are certain things that I need. Do you know that I used to turn a vacuum cleaner when I was younger? I did. I turned a vacuum cleaner on. That would help me sleep. It's a steady. It's that noise. It's what it is. Same thing with a fan, right?
The fan makes the humming noise.
Yeah. Last night I actually turned the fan on, and then I turned
a fan over your bed.
Yeah, but it doesn't make any noise. Oh. It's quiet.
That fan. We have a fan, but it never shuts off. The fans in the house never shut off. They're always running.
Well, I like for example, the fan I had on last night, I turned it like away from me, so it wasn't blowing on me or anything.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's all right. You like the fan? You like the fan?
No, I don't. The question is, or do you do anything
the music
different?
The music is what I do. Yeah.
And what made me think about this is we went out to dinner last night, and we went out with we took Chelsea and Matt out to dinner along with Benny.
Yeah.
Benny eats a lot. Oh my God, he had steak, and he's 12 weeks today. He's not eating steak.
I didn't think so. Doesn't even have any teeth.
No. Well, neither do I. But neither do you. So it's one of those things that I was looking at Benny and I'm like,
yeah.
For a while he was just kind of sleeping and everything, and I kept saying to Chelsea and Matt, I said, he's a really good baby because he was just mellow. And Chelsea looks at me and goes, he's acting. He's an actor.
Well,
and I went, she goes, you're putting on a show. And I went, well, I don't know. So I held him, and he was fine. And everything. And she showed. I said, Chelsea, I've never seen like any grumpy pics of him. I've said everything that you put up, he always looks like he's smiling and happy and stuff like that. And she goes, oh, wait. And she took out her phone, and there's like a couple of stone-faced bennies.
Yeah.
Like, and I guess yesterday she said to me, she goes, he woke up mad, and he just decided he's going to be mad today.
Oh,
I said, well,
there it goes.
Yeah. So, and
good days and bad days.
Yeah.
The kids aren't any different.
No, I know.
No.
But she's a great mom.
Yeah.
And Matt's he's a really good father. I mean, the skills they both have, when they're trying to do something and they're holding Benny and stuff. And I said, Chelsea said, so any problems? She goes, well, I haven't dropped him yet.
You don't want to.
She was kidding,
I know.
but I mean, but it was but it's funny because like I was holding him, he kind of fell off, and then he woke back up a little bit, and then Chelsea started talking, and it's amazing. I guess I forgot seeing this, but as soon as he hears mom's voice, he's like,
yeah.
So it's really,
they know their mother.
It's pretty amazing to see how, the baby reacts, how he reacts to just her voice. So
sure.
And she goes, well, I'm with him all the time. I said,
oh, of course.
I know. And then, anyway, just wanted to kind of throw that down.
Yeah, cool.
So look at that. So you have your SNSN logo.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, Paul.
Yeah, I see that.
You like that?
I saw it. Yeah.
We should do other things. So
yeah, you should.
Probably something a little more realistic for you.
Yeah, I'd like to be in Florida for one morning.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
How about this right here?
I can't see where is it?
It's well, it's right. It's a couple of angels.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, there are a couple of angels just kind of hovering above you.
No.
What a wonderful person you are.
Move on after that.
You don't. No, okay, it's not. They're not angels. Paul, it's Statler and Waldorf, the old Muppets. That's what it is.
No, I think the angels could be, and they're not coming after me. So
Scott Fryer says perfect. Victoria's rolling.
Oh Jesus.
Okay. Anybody else that's in here? Let us know that you're alive today, folks.
Yeah.
There's nothing more that is worse than coming into a social media atmosphere and sitting there and going, I hope they don't see me. I'm gonna sit here.
Yeah.
No trolls, man. We don't want trolls. We want.
So I got a question for you.
Say hello, everybody. Yes, Paul. What is your question today?
Why did the tree go to the dentist?
Why did the tree go to the dentist? Anybody out there? Anybody know why the tree went to the dentist? Anybody have any ideas? Because there's a punchline coming.
Oh, absolutely.
Why did the tree? Hey, Bill. Good morning. I asked if everybody's alive, and Scott says, who's alive? The New York Yankees.
Yeah, they won yesterday. 5-1.
That's all right. They're not gonna beat Houston. So it's the end of the line. Hey, good morning, Bill Knight. Good to see you.
So nobody answered my question.
Why did the tree go to the dentist? I don't know. Tell us, Paul. Why did the tree go to the dentist?
To get a root canal.
I get it. I get it. Yeah.
All right.
I get it.
Okay.
Did you say you had a story today too?
Yeah. I mean, this is I get these things that days in history.
Yep.
But actually, this was yesterday. It's kind of an interesting thing. Did you know on October 18th, 1867, U.S. agreed to buy Alaska? You know how much they paid for it?
$4.
No. Let's put it this way. Musk is paying more for
what?
What's his name there? Twitter is a lot more than what they paid for Russia. Paid for Alaska.
$1,000.
$7.2 million they paid for Alaska in 1867. Yeah, not bad, huh?
That's not bad at all.
Anybody could buy it then, right? So,
well, I don't know. That's still a lot of money back then.
Back then, it was a lot of money. I don't probably
that's still a ton of
money. Yeah. So right now they want to take it back. They want to get Alaska back.
Why?
I don't know.
I think they just want everything right now.
I know. Yeah.
I think that's.
But yeah, that was yesterday. That was yesterday that we purchased it. So yeah.
Paul, move to the right a little bit.
To the right.
Yeah, or your other right. I'm sorry.
That's my left.
Yeah, there we go. So now you're the same as Walter, the grumpy puppet.
Oh, okay.
Now you're okay with that one, aren't you?
I don't really care.
Yes, you do. You do care. Oh, there's so many things we could put behind you, Paul.
Yeah, I know. Now you got a green screen, which I finally convinced you to put something behind me. I want something pleasant.
What do you want? I put a big letter X.
Put me on Fantasy Island or something. The blade.
All right, well, I'll put you in a little. We got you in a little apartment right now.
Oh, good.
With a piano and all that.
Oh,
stuff,
good.
So.
All
right, we're gonna leave you there.
All right, that's good.
See, Paul really is in the other half of the room.
Yes, I am.
Scott says, "Oh my God, I thought he was Biden."
Who?
Joe Biden.
Come on, that's a slap in the face.
Come
on, man.
See. Oh, yeah, we must mourn something this morning. I say with a heavy heart, Paul.
What's that?
That Shayna the illest is no more.
There's something with that.
The illest is gone.
Oh, it is, huh?
No more Shayna the illest.
Okay.
She's no more. So sorry, Shayna.
Oh, Shayna, gotcha.
She is now Shayna Dugas.
So she got married.
She just dropped the illest thing.
Oh.
So good morning, Shayna.
Wow.
God, I'm so sad.
Yeah.
No more the illest. Scott says Walter looks like Biden. Bill Knight says possibly Elmer Fudd.
Yeah.
And
Walter, I mean, Dunham does a great job with Walter in the Biden stuff. He wears the glasses, the whole thing. He does a good job with that. It's pretty funny. Yeah.
Good morning, Denise.
Yeah. But we don't have any inflation, according to Joe. There's no such thing as inflation. We don't have.
What world is he living in? I don't even think he knows, to be honest.
I don't think he does either. Yeah.
I think at this point he's animatronic.
Yeah. Who the hell knows what world he's living in? But
you take his batteries out at night and put him next to the other animatronic people like Walt Disney.
Well, we'll see what happens. Elections are coming up in a couple. Well, it's not short time. It's like 3 weeks, something like that.
Yeah.
And they're all fighting, all saying the same thing. I did this and I did that.
I see so many. I don't really look at a lot of social media much anymore because it really just kind of gets me down. But how do you feel that, say, like, well, how do you feel about political ads? Because I see people all the time talking about TV, saying, I'm so sick of political ads.
That's all the time now.
Yeah.
And you got one that comes on that's for somebody, they're got their own little thing going about what they did. And immediately following that, they got the other side saying the guy doesn't do this, or that person doesn't do this, or that person doesn't do this. And it seems like abortion seems to be the big thing that they're all getting on board with.
Well, I asked Brian Lanou yesterday about Roe v. Wade.
Yeah.
And he was very solid in his response.
Yeah.
Agree with him or don't agree with him.
Yeah.
He was very, very upfront and gave a full description, had no fear, about what his thoughts on Roe v. Wade are. Well, so if you want to know, watch yesterday's show.
Yeah, I don't think they can do anything in Connecticut because Connecticut's got a law in place where it's going to still be legal. I think the whole thing comes down to is the time limit to when an abortion can be done. I think that's the thing. I mean, you can't do it at the last minute.
They're saying that they're trying to put that up on the board. Third trimester abortions. So
So I think that's that seems to be the issue, but it's that seems to be the big one that they're all. I mean, you got the freaking treasurer of the state of Connecticut running, and it's talking about abortion. I mean, come on, what the hell's that got to do with being a treasurer?
I know.
They're all hopping on board with the abortion thing because they think that's going to persuade people to go one way or the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm sick of hearing it. It's the same old crap. You know,
So Bill wants to know, how do you like the new SNSN crib? Well, God, we love it.
Yeah, it's nice.
I mean, Paul's in. I'm in Studio 1. Paul's in Studio 2. Yeah. We've. If you look at the Paragon Studios from outside and everything, it's like, wow, I can't believe that's actually what it looks like in there where Paul's sitting. And
that's right.
Yeah, I mean, Paul has. He's sitting right in this beautiful, beautiful suite with fireplace. There's even a piano there. It's amazing what they offer here at Paragon.
I know. I mean, you have to get up and play the piano.
You could, I mean, why not?
I know, but then I take away all.
You got a beautiful couch. I mean, you've just got you got it made over in Studio 2.
Yes, I do.
Very good, very good. Congratulations, Paul, for being gifted
Studio
2.
I like it.
Yeah. You look very comfy over there too.
I do look comfy. I do feel comfortable.
Yeah,
I definitely do.
To your point, Paul.
Yeah.
Scott says, Pelosi said that crime and inflation are not an issue. It's all about abortion.
Yeah, that's why her husband just bought all that stock. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
As he was trying to get there to his broker, drunk driving.
Yeah. I never thought that I would see in my lifetime that what we're going to go through this winter with people with this whole inflation. I mean, I remember going through inflation. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But
you mean in the 70s or
70s? Yeah, I remember lining up for gas back in that time frame. But
it's all cycle, man.
Yeah. So this is just I fear the winter for people who are not going to be able to afford to pay for oil. That's what I fear. People are going to run out of oil because they can't afford to.
I was talking to Dean yesterday up at Dean's Corner about that very subject, and it said now they're talking about even possibly being a shortage.
Yeah.
It's like what are they going to do?
Well,
what are these people going to do? That can't afford it.
Not what these people can do. It's you and I who perhaps can afford the oil that are not going to be able to get it. Do you have a secondary?
Yeah.
Do you have something in your house that you can use for secondary heat?
Just my hot air.
There you go.
No, I mean facetious, but no.
You got nothing.
No, we have a series of electrical heaters.
But that's dangerous too.
Right. But they're all dangerous. Even like a portable kerosene heater. Those are.
Yeah, you don't run those now. But what I'm saying that's the other thing we're going to have to be careful with is people are going to bringing out electric heaters and they're going to put them close to something. Now we're going to end up with more fires.
Yeah.
I mean, half of the fires we saw last year was a result of electric heaters.
Yeah. So what is a good form of secondary heat? See, it's a toss-up.
Yeah. I mean, if you have it in one of those outside, with the hanging, the hanging air and heat thing.
Mm-hmm. Inside?
No, you have the unit outside, and you have the hang. I forget what they call those.
I have one of those things. I have one of those outdoor porch heaters.
No, not an outdoor porch heater. Yeah, you're talking about the one with the propane.
Yeah.
That's not good to burn inside.
Well, no, I wouldn't.
No. Yeah.
So what are you talking about?
I'm talking about the unit that you put outside, and then you have like Dean has those things hanging on the wall.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
They're like forced hot air.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Yeah, they're hot air and they're air conditioned.
Those are expensive.
Yeah, they're
not a couple
cheap,
$1,000,
but there's no oil.
Yeah.
If you have one of those, it's a good thing for secondary heat. Or if you have a stove, which stove.
Why not just take a fire pit, put it in your living room, and boom.
Sure. But that's right. I mean, that's going to be the problem. It's going to be a lot of people trying to use those secondary heaters, which is not really a good idea.
Bill says just go to the desert.
Yeah.
It's an option. Victoria, our mini splits.
That's what I could.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the mini split. She's right. I was trying to come up with it.
How much do those cost, Victoria? Those mini splits.
Trying to think what I paid.
Oh, so you have one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually have two. I think it was like 1,400 maybe for the big
Really?
one. Yeah. Then you got to have it put in.
Yeah.
You know, it's basically all we do is hang it on a wall and hook it up to 220, and then they have to take it away.
Is it 220?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
220.
it's all right.
Yeah.
Well, I would think it would need to be with the heating
it's
elements.
220.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 220. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's
a real good thing. I wish I had another one in the house. I have one on the deck. I have one in my garage, but I wish I had one on another one. In the
so
house.
like if you had one in your home, how big of an area would that?
Well, I have one that covers a deck that's probably 13 or 14 by 20. Heats it up without a problem, and because it's open, it actually goes into the house as well. So
Gotcha.
it kind of keeps the
Really
straight. Yeah, it keeps the kitchen and the living room warm as a result.
See, we have our living room's about 14 by 20, 25.
Yeah.
And if we put one in there, then but it's pretty open into the kitchen, into the dining room, down the hall.
It would move. Yeah.
But it depends on the square footage. She says we have 2 heads and outside garage units with installation was $6,500. It covers 2,500 square feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you have to worry about the oil.
Yeah, that's true.
All you got to do is worry the power's on. Yeah, and they're pretty efficient too.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, they are very efficient. Yeah. Plus, you can use them for air conditioning during the summertime. Yeah.
Cindy B says my dad has one in the living/dining room and one in the bedroom. He loves them.
Yeah, they're good.
How much, Cindy? How much did your dad pay for those?
Yeah.
I mean, that's actually, I think, might be the way our floor plan is set up upstairs. It would probably, be a viable option.
That is a viable option. Yeah. Like I said, it's they got a pretty good blower on them, so they blow the heat around.
So Court says, and this is a very good question. What do you do when the power goes out?
That's the other thing. You don't have it.
Right.
Yeah, it's with any other alternate source. You couldn't, even if you had electric heater. What do you do when the power goes out?
Right.
Same thing.
Right.
Yeah. So most people would have to have a, generator.
Right.
Which a lot of people do now. A lot of people who live in the rural areas of Griswold here have the ones that are standby.
Right.
They're getting them put in because they're sick of their power going out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So those are pretty good. I see
Yeah.
a couple of criminals in my doorway.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Our guests for this morning. They're early. So
Are they early?
yeah, they're 10 minutes early.
Oh, 10 minutes. When they come at 9:15?
Yeah.
Oh. Trying to sneak in the door, huh?
Well, you say, hey, Ryan, you come in at 9. No, you don't start work till then. So I don't want to come in unless I'm on the clock. Can you blame them? I can't blame them. So come on in, guys. Come on in. Yeah, Paul, you want to move over to?
You literally have a green room.
I'm not kidding. You think I was kidding? I gotta take Paul out of the.
Yeah. I see your picture on or like in the video on Facebook every once in a while.
Ryan, come here. It's Phil and Paul in studio too.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where.
We're gonna either one.
Oh, I don't. But I'm not gonna talk. So
I'm gonna
Can you shut the door?
Yeah,
Actually?
absolutely.
They'll be like, when's this event? Like, we have that event coming up? Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, but yes, this event is actually tomorrow. And
I did everything. You just have to show.
that's true. That would actually be it. Yeah. Just show up. It'll make sense. I do, yes.
Why won't that go to?
I guess that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can sit.
I'll be in the seated section with Paul.
Sure, why not? The whole seat's here.
That is exactly it.
You want to stand? What?
I figured you were not going to sit. Yeah.
My leg.
There we go.
It's my head coming.
Oh, good. Got you in there. We had to move the camera out because there's 3 of you over there. So what's up, guys? Phil, it's really nice to see you.
Yeah, it's really nice to be in this new space too.
How do you like it?
I like it. Yeah, like I
Yeah.
said, I've seen like images and things like that, but I haven't actually like been
here,
in
yeah.
it. Yeah. So yeah. In fact, like driving up here too, the way I drove past the old place, and it was interesting. It was like a history moment. It was like the history lab, you know. So yeah, it was
Yeah.
nice. It was nice to arrive here. So yeah.
Yeah, that's your old history. That's your stomping grounds.
Yes.
For a long time.
Yeah.
Want to move the microphone up?
No,
I like that.
Yeah, I'll let you do it. Test.
Because you're tall.
Sorry.
Oh, he's getting rid of the chair. No, he's moving
No,
over.
no, no.
I just wanted to adjust a little bit.
See, Phil knows about microphone control.
Oh,
You
definitely.
know,
Yes.
he's very good with it, so he knows exactly where he needs to be.
I have no clue.
Huh?
He teaches me that stuff. So
Is the blue light in front of your lips?
it is now.
All right, that's where you want to be.
So
You
I'm
can
like,
no.
I'll just. Yeah, it's fine.
We are.
Do this.
There we go.
There.
Yeah, there we go. All right.
I do
so-
like this setup though. This is really cool with the lights and
The lights are cool. Yeah.
yeah. And I like the backdrop online virtually with the green screen.
Mhm.
Gives it more of like a really professional look.
Well,
Nice.
it's more fun here,
Yeah.
you know, and I don't know. It's what are we saying? It's just more homey.
Yeah.
It's much more homey and stuff. Like where the green screen is, we're gonna, you know, like we have a couple of chairs. We're gonna get a coffee table and everything, so
Oh,
we'll
that's cool.
be able to have, you know, different types of conversations, you know, instead
Sure.
of just this type of atmosphere. So we'll be able to put out different types of content.
Yeah.
This is
And
awesome.
yeah, and this room actually enables us that. So get this. This table was in here.
Oh wow.
Oh,
All right,
wow,
well, there's
yeah.
your-
It's meant to be.
I imagine when
Between
you
that
said
and the green screen, it was
when
it
you
was already-
first came in, you probably were like, okay, this is it.
Yeah, this is
Like
this is
you win, Leslie.
yeah. This was it right here. So we were talking about we said when we said that you guys were coming in today, Paul goes, "Oh, you mean Spooktopia?"
Yeah, that's Saturday.
So
Yep.
that is Saturday. What is the history of Spooktopia?
Edgar Fontaine.
Did you start the whole Spooktopia thing?
So-
Spooktopia thing?
It kinda. So
Okay.
I don't take credit. Like what happened was Shannon Webster, who used to be in the town hall, went to a trunk or treat event, and she was explaining it one day. I was just there doing something.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's interesting. I know, like I grew up on Mechanic Street, right down the street, and
Yep. Yeah.
all great
Right
things
down-
come
yeah,
from Mechanic
yeah.
Street for some reason. But like it wasn't really safe for us to trick or treat when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like when we did, it was kind of like you'd go somewhere else. You'd go to Lisbon, honestly. So like having my own kids, I was like, that's still kind of true because I go to Lisbon, you know, the Strawberry Meadows, I think
Strawberry
it's
Fields
called.
or Meadows, yeah.
yeah,
Forever.
because it's great. Like it's just it's something we don't have here. Like you have BMW Drive, you have the places like that, but
Arrowhead.
Arrowhead, yeah,
The original
Arrowhead's-
Arrowhead. That's a mecca
That's-
for candy.
That's
I
like
mean,
Spooktopia every year.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so, but like I'm thinking for families that don't have that, and then I was like, "Shannon, that makes a lot of sense." So we
Yeah.
gave it a year, and then actually Edgar Fontaine passed away, and he had that huge history of just being a community-minded person. And he's-
Pumpkins.
with the pumpkin, yeah, his
Pumpkin House.
and,
Yeah.
and I remember one time he was interviewed, and I knew Edgar very well. He went to our wedding. Very funny stories from our wedding with Edgar, but I won't get into that. So
You sure? You sure?
So
You're sure?
He put so when they throw the bouquet,
Yeah.
he pushed all my friends out of the way to catch it. And just because the lady that caught it, they went to high school together on
Okay.
my wife's side. And so it's just funny. He's just a great guy. But when he passed, like they had an interview, and they said, and then he said in the interview, it's I do this for the community. It's not too scary. It's just foolishness.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it just stuck with me. I'm like, that is brilliant.
Just foolishness.
Yeah. And so that's why it's on everything you see for Spooktopia. But when he passed away, we had the idea of, well, keep what he did for the community, keep going on.
Mhm.
And it's still with Dean and Dean's family, and they're still
Yeah,
involved.
their family's co-signed it. And
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
They're on board with it. So
Yeah. And so that's the thing. This year's a little bit different because Spooktopia is usually a very massive, overwhelming event that was at the park. Then we threw COVID years with the drive-through at Hopeville, which was always great because
what was that like as a transition to go to go to Hopeville and make it a drive-through as opposed to just walking through at the top of the hill at Veterans Memorial Park? Phil, what do you say? Because you're the one generally that I see running around a lot. You and Mike Morton, trying to keep order and get candy filled, and what was that? What was the difference like?
I mean, I did like the Hopeville space, and I think I really think actually there could have been some interesting things with it, depending on like in different years, like not like obviously like post pandemic maybe. There were some challenges though. I mean, like I think the drive through component maybe made it so that the people doing the walking or driving now, they were significantly warmer than the people who were standing out there. Because usually I find with Spooktopia like
Christmas.
There was Snowflake Parade. Usually I find with Spooktopia, the time period that you're actually standing out there is not that long because everyone's just running for candy. But when there's like a certain window that's open, like okay, we're gonna be open for this time just in case someone drives in at 7:30 or whatever the time is. You're out there a little bit longer. But I mean it was cool. It was a nice space. It was and people still were able to do the trunk or treat concept and really still did a lot of great decorations and things like that. So I thought it was really awesome. So,
I can't tell you how many times I would be at Spooktopia and I would run like crazy, and I can't tell you how many 4-year-olds I knocked to the ground to get to the full size candy bar truck. So get out of my way.
The trend, I don't know, like the drive-through was cool, but you kind of lost a lot of the touch of Spooktopia.
That's true, yeah.
I mean, from a staffing side, it was like a massive lot to do event in here in the park, and it went to like, okay, we have 5 things we have to do the whole time. So staffing was much easier, but for the community approach, it was not the same. But we did have we wanted to this year still do it at Hopeville. Eric Gilo, who's like the most amazing person in the world, is in charge of Hopeville. He got promoted, so he's going to another park. So the new director, I don't really know very well, so I didn't want to be like, okay, we're going to do Spooktopia. We use your staff. It's about 4,000 people, and by the way, this year would be all on foot. Like there's no drive-through, and then there's a lot of risk because it's dark, and then
there's no lights there. There's no lights,
and if you have a light, it's kind of like outer space. It doesn't light anything up.
Yes.
It's a void.
See, Christmas time it was pretty cool because all the displays had lights.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool. Plus, when you go look at Christmas lights, what do you do? Well, it's dark.
Right.
So that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Spooktopia is extra spooky.
Right. And then there's the risk of trtripping and it's woods. You know. I mean, fires.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
we must have stayed for 30 minutes afterwards putting out fires.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the campsites?
Yes. Yeah. Not actual fire.
Yeah. In the
Couldn't imagine.
Let me clarify. But they that took a while. So maybe we will revisit it, but we just want to make it safe. So that's why this year we had 2 events because we didn't want to do the one massive Spooktopia because honestly, our park's not big enough anymore for it. Because in the past, how you kind of learn through your failures, like things that you don't plan for more than you do than what you plan. So, you want to talk about the Spooktopia story when we're in the park?
So the last year before the pandemic, and the last year before we moved to Hopeville for those couple of years, Ryan had this like grand scheme of how, everything was going to be laid out and everything. And Ryan gets there a little early as always. I think like the days of the events, he just wakes up, in the park and just all right, time to get to work.
I sleep there.
He wakes up in the gazebo and he's like, all right, pulls out the ATV. He drives the van, I think, right? Not the ATV. He drives the van into the park because he's going to get some stuff ready. And then when he tries to get out of drive out of there, it gets stuck in the mud. So he looked at the ground, obviously, if he can't get his van out, he's like, well, we can't have vendors park here. This is where people were supposed to be parking. Yes. So last minute, he had to change everything around. He had to have people park at the youth center parking lot area, which there's nice.
I remember that.
Exactly. Yeah. And a lot of people are like, oh, this is great. And like, oh, I love this idea. Like, when do you come up with this? And he's like, today. Yeah. So an hour ago. Yeah. So, So yeah, it was just one of those kind of accidental like strokes of brilliance. But yeah,
Well, they did a lot. This like Mike and Phil, like anything we do, their fingerprints are on it somewhere. Because like
Phil and Mike Morton.
yeah, Mike Morton, which I have to get to come here one of these
Yeah,
days too. But like everything I do, like I think big picture, and then it goes into tasks. And like without Mike and Phil doing that, none of this would be done correctly. Because like every event is okay. These are the big picture things that need to get done. These are staff things that need to get done. You need a supervisor for the staff, and then everything like we just the movie in the park we just had, like setting up a screen, all the things that nuances that go into an event. You need to have a structure under you, or they all collapse. And Phil and Mike really is that, and then we have our team staff, Ms. Bentley and Ricky, and our teenager staff who are really into this. We have a text stream with the staff, and literally, I'll put my phone down. I'll come back. There's like 52 missed messages because they're really into this, like just being on a team together. That like it's just a vibe, and you need to have that in a team. So, but yeah, they definitely are a big part of that. So
Spooktopia has been. When did it start? What year?
Oh man, I don't even know. I've been here for going on 16 years, so a lot is blurry. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sure, honestly. I don't want to put a number on it.
I remember doing it. I think in I remember doing it. I think in 2014 or something like that. Because I remember I volunteered through ECPA.
Yep.
So I think
I remember that.
might be. I don't know if that was the first though. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a year that it happened. Yeah.
It was just this little kind of like event, and it turned into a massive. So the reason why this is the first year we split it, we had the Fun and Fright Fest, which was under 1,000 people, which is good. That's like
a band.
With a band,
Stiff Kitty.
Stiff Kitty, who were incredible. I don't know if you got the.
No, they were really good, but who names a band Stiff Kitty? I mean,
so apparently that band has been around for years. They broke up.
They were very good.
Yeah, and then the new members came in, and then this is their first like major gig in a while.
Yeah.
And Nick Manu does the sound, and that guy, I mean, he was there setting up for the movie. Like,
great.
Amazing people. Like, again, if you don't have those people under you, you crumble. Without them, none of this happens. So
we kind of Melissa and I were walking the dogs.
Yep.
So we looked at Stiff Kitty. STYFF. She goes, no, I think it's Stiff Kitty. I went, the hell is that?
Yeah.
But they were very good.
Oh god,
they need to collaborate with Strife. They could be Strife Kitty.
Yeah. Striper.
There you go. Oh, there you go.
Striper Kitty.
There you go.
Be a lion.
Super
tiger.
So Spooktopia, it's first time we're doing it at the high school. So
how did that come about? I mean, first of all,
Sarah Seifert. So I always give credit to who deserves the credit. Sarah Seifert, who's our chairwoman of the Recreation Commission.
She's great.
I mean, you could have a whole show on the Recreation Commission because I mean, every one of them.
Yeah.
They all have fingerprints all over this town and don't want any credit for it. They just do things because that's the people they are. So like Sarah Seifert brought up the idea, why don't you try the school, because the parking lot's there. And then like Lou D'Amico, who's another person who's amazing, the chief of the fire department, is going to go out and just mark out our area that morning, because the same day is the mattress fundraiser.
Yeah.
In I think it's a walkathon event, and this is for the band, maybe choir, but I'm not sure. But please, help them out because they're trying to raise money. But we didn't want to interrupt what they're doing with parking, so we moved our event so they won't have any conflicts. But honestly, it's our focus is, well, when people run out of candy, they start putting hazards on, and then our staff goes into momentum mode.
Yeah.
And if you want to explain what that is.
Yeah, so pretty much, I mean, the way it works is, we usually ask, usually the people who are the actual trunkers will come with candy. But at some point you're going to run out. We have a lot of people that come, especially if it's like their first year and they're like, oh, this will be enough, right? Like, no. But, and we usually will ask people who come, like who actually attend, to bring a bag of candy, like a family size bag of candy as well, because that just adds to the pot. So we have more candy to add. And we always bring candy too.
Yeah.
So as soon as those hazard lights come on, when a trunker runs out, our staff will go run out with like this big wheelbarrow.
I've seen that happen.
That's one of my favorite things about the event, actually, is like distributing because you're like a hero to everyone, you know. And on the way, you might like you see a kid, you throw a bag, you throw a thing of candy in their bag or whatever. So you're like a hero for that glorious hour. So yeah,
it's cool to see, and it's just that's the thing. It's youth center kids plus staff.
Yep.
And like Ryan Snide, another person on the rec
Yes.
commission
He's a great guy.
he does so much, wants no credit for it, just wants to make the community better. And he comes with his golf cart, so he's zooming around, handing out. So it's really cool to see everybody working together. But again, without that support, it's none of this happens. Like we grew the last 15 years because of other people. It's not because of me. They just kind of they're like, wow, this is cool, and they want to add to it.
I say the same thing about here.
Yeah.
And even back when Phil was on board with us for when Phil was in high school and
Yep.
when he started college, any of the ideas that came, I concur with what you're saying, because any of the ideas that came out of here, 9 out of 10 weren't from me.
Yeah. Yeah.
They really weren't. I mean,
that's the thing. You should.
Al Gear, was you, Paul,
yeah.
Lisa Cole.
Lisa Cole is one of my favorite people too. I miss her. If you're out there, I miss you.
Yes.
So that's the thing. You kind of surround yourself with people you can learn from. And I learn from Phil all the time. I learn from Mike all the time. I learn from my staff. So that's why we grow.
I mean, for the record, you do, because I know Ryan doesn't want to give himself credit here, but I am going to give Ryan credit because, like as much as he wants to give us all credit, and I trust, shower me with credit, I appreciate it, but Ryan is a huge component in all of this as well, obviously. So he's very ambitious, very, he's usually he's the hungriest member of the team, even though he's been here so long and does a lot of it himself, honestly. Or there's a good chunk that you end up having to do yourself. So do give Ryan credit.
He doesn't give himself any
credit. Yeah, he doesn't though. Yeah, but yeah. So we as much as like the team, it's a team thing, obviously, but we would not do what we've done. We would not have accomplished what we've done over the years without Ryan. So
well, what do you think? Have you dressed up for Spooktopia and going got candy? No? Okay, great. Moving on.
That's the thing.
Never been.
This could be the first year.
Yeah, it's for kids. Not for old people.
Paul, you're young at heart.
Yeah.
How old are you anyways? Like 30?
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
I'm 30.
All right. Is my microphone off? Scott says, I think you lost your mic, but seems like it sounds like I'm getting it here.
If you shout loudly enough, it'll pick up on mine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking. Nope, it's good.
Oh, okay.
It's good. Okay. City Briggs says, I've coached GMS Cheer since 2013, and we had a booth that year, so at least it dates back to. This could be your 10th annual Spooktober, and y'all don't even know it.
10 years.
They all blend. It's crazy. It's so crazy how time flies. Like
I mean, it could have been 2012, the great time reset from the Mayans. I mean, you never know. Maybe that's when it started.
So, what if a new person listening wants to come? What do they need to do?
Sure. Go to Grizzled High School, 6:00 Saturday.
Yeah.
And you'll see signs.
Where they need to bring, where they need to do.
One bag of candy, and they park, and they just walk in. It's not drive-through, so, and then they can trick or treat from trunk to trunk. There's 70-something chunkers.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently that's not a real word, because every time I type it in anywhere in like Word and stuff, it says it's not a word.
We're making it a word.
It's a word now. So when you're a chunker, is 70 plus there. So times like 500 pieces of candy per trunker. That's what our reach is. Grizzledrec.org. Just click on the Spooktopia link, and it says be a trunker. Yep. Yep.
I don't know, Paul, something happened here. Do you try it again?
What if somebody wanted to be a trunker?
Take two.
We'll edit
Rewind.
Yep. Good question, though.
Yeah,
I just think that there may be some people listening that perhaps are not aware of it or never been a trunker.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and then next year we're probably going to bring it back to the park, but we're trying to figure out how to make it work. Because again, that's a lot of people. We had plates from New York and New Jersey, and
wow.
So people who camp in the area, they find
they find they come in, huh?
Yeah.
Well, especially this time of year because you got the tree, leaf peepers.
Yeah, it's beautiful there in the water with the dam and the trees and the outlook. That's cool.
Yeah,
but that's one thing. I keep forgetting to bring up other stuff we do. Like right now, basketball's enrolling.
Yep.
We have a certain radio station that's gonna live stream our games.
Have no idea who that is.
Yeah,
Probably,
SN. So
Yeah, Snow, right? Something like that.
So that's really cool.
Stands for Stu Norman. Every time I go to his office, about something, he says to me, he goes, "I can't believe you put my initials on there twice."
It's amazing.
Once would have
Yeah.
been enough, but yeah.
Yeah. He said, "Bill, excuse me, Stu." I said, "You were worth twice." So,
So is this like an intramural basketball? Is it baseball? What is it?
It's a recreation. It's for boys and girls, 2 different leagues. It's ages 5 to 13. It's 360 players last year. So you have 36 to 38 teams, all head coaches with assistant coach. It's a huge, and it's program. It's for 6 months, dude. We go to April 1st, start in mid-November. So it's quite a program. And like the cool thing about our program is like I always think from like the parent standpoint, like how would I make this worth me spending money on? And so what we do is there's always a challenge in sports, any sports with coaches and volunteers is you want to add more practices, but you don't want to tie up volunteers more than one time a day. Cause again, just having coaches is a blessing by itself, not even asking them to come more than once a week. So we have Skyhawk clinics that actually would be twice a week. So if you want to develop your player better, you actually go to these clinics. They're part of your fee. It's completely free. And then you have your games and practices. Practice then a game one day a week. So the idea of that too is from a parent's perspective. How can I make this a parent-friendly schedule, especially when you have more than one kid? Because I'm seeing this now with my own kids. So how crazy it is, and I know people with 4 or 5 kids. I don't know how they do it honestly, but that's why we try to make it easier. So we have such a great enrollment with that. Plus, we kind of the schedule itself. It's very steady, so you know what to expect. But yeah, like a 5-year-old gets a 6-month season with player development, with practicing, and the clinics, and then you have the games, and then they're going to be on the radio, like live on the internet. Like that's amazing.
Yeah.
I wish I had that when I was a kid. So that's kind of the way I look at it. So.
And what school are you playing in?
The Grizzle. So we're again, the Board of Ed is amazing to us. The athletic director, Steve, is like my hero almost every other month because I'm begging for something, and he's like, "Okay."
Steve's always, every time I've asked Steve, like even whether it's a phone number or
he's very community minded. Like, and even Sean McKenna, very community minded. Like they're all Glenn LeBossier, who's he's always been here since day one, since I started here.
Sure.
He's the only one that didn't think I was crazy when I was like, no, I'm going to create an actual recreation department because we didn't have one. And he was literally the only person who was like, no, you can do that. Everybody else was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. You can do that, I guess. But he was like, no, this is how you do it.
He's now the director of teaching, learning, and innovation.
Yeah. So there's a lot about him. I mean, he went from a gym teacher when I was in school to right up there.
The athletic director, being the middle school principal.
Yeah, he deserves it. Everything.
Yeah.
But
now being the right-hand man of Mr. McKenna.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
that's a good thing because a lot of kids never get the opportunity to play because they don't make a team like Griswold team, but they can play in this league as a result of you don't have to be good, you just can play.
Yeah,
it gives them a chance to kind of sharpen those skills. So maybe next time they can make the team or whatever.
Absolutely.
Or if they don't again, they still have that option. And like you said, it's a really long season. So
cheap plug. Like the idea is it's training. Go sign up. It's training future Wolverines. That's the whole motto.
Yeah.
Because the idea is like we want our kids to play in town, stay in town, and then go to high school in town and play for the town Wolverine team. Sure. Like that's the end goal. Which is why
that's funny because that's what we try to do here.
Yeah.
I mean by started we actually 2 years ago we started with doing middle school basketball.
Yep.
Right. So I mean even now doing youth, middle, high school.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna have a
because we want to keep kids here. I mean, in town. Yeah. It was not like this in the 70s. All of our athletes stayed right here, unless they went to Ellis Tech.
Right.
Or Norwich Tech because they wanted to. Because they wanted, some sort of a technical career or a trade or whatever.
Yeah.
But otherwise, the kids stayed here.
Right. And
or
they
St.
wanted,
Bernard's, or
and they
St.
wanted
Bernard's,
to.
because they're a religious exception. They wanted
Yeah.
to go there, but
And I think like you have at the high school, Erin Polonen, who's amazing.
Yep.
Like she went to Grizzled, and like the assistant principal, Art he's been around forever.
nobody
And
realizes that.
he's such a great guy because once I saw his face and he saw me, he's like, I recognize you from somewhere, and I had to think about it.
Yeah.
He was in charge, I think it was volleyball, but going back years, like decade almost. He's there and he's so focused on the kids. Like I'm excited because eventually my kids are gonna be there.
Yeah.
And I have Aaron and Art. I mean, that's a dream team right there. So in the big picture, we're trying to keep people in Grizzled. And I think we both had the same
Yeah. You have the same idea.
North Star, right? We know what we're aiming.
We're just coming from a different road.
Right, yeah. We're gonna get there. Same trajectory. Just have to get there. So
And then there's Paul.
Well, Paul is the star himself.
Yeah,
He's
he
actually,
is the North
that's
Star.
what I
That's
picture.
He's like the star at the top of the Teletubbies open. Hello, Paul. Oh goodness. What about have you guys thought about doing youth volleyball?
Yeah, I actually.
And the reason I say that, like, there's so much of a focus right now on youth, or I should say on volleyball. So the Grizzled girls, they're 13-0.
Yeah.
They're ranked second in the state. They're undefeated.
Angela Adams, right?
You know what an important piece she is, because she coaches the JVs. The JV team is hers, right? That's the feeder system to the varsity team, right? Where you got Jamie Bruno, who's been there since I don't know, 150 years. But
I texted Jamie earlier in the year I think it was this year, but I wanted to do a youth volleyball league or even, but it just never really worked out. But I that's one thing. Like in the long run, it kind of feels like we spin our wheels every year because I don't have a full-time assistant. So it's kind of like I'm doing everything and trying to get through 1 year, because everything we do in 1 year is so elaborate. It takes up like every month. There's a reason why there's only one major thing in a month, because while all this crazy crap is going on, we have a youth center with 24 to 32 kids there every single day that we have to staff. And that's kids with their own personalities, their own, things that are going on. Different ages. Yep. And we're trying to keep it the window of a middle school scheme, because the idea is elementary school ends, you hit 5th grade, and there's this transition that kids we want them to meet the great friends from 5th to 8th grade. So, and then in high school, they kind of like, there's so much going on at the high school. We don't have to give the community a lot of things for high schoolers. We want to, like, if I had a full timer, I would love to do a youth league for high school basketball players that don't make the team, but I can't do that because we're just trying to get through month to month, honestly. So
I would just think it would just, I thought about it, after I said, what about a volleyball team? Or a volleyball league?
Yeah.
Or even doing a team, like a middle school age team, and maybe talk to other towns to see if they do like a travel team.
Yeah, you definitely
like a town travel team. I don't know. It's just an idea. I mean, would there be too much into that really to?
So you need a leader. Well, it always comes down. You need a leader. Like if you look at Angela Adams, I'll just use her as an example. On her Facebook, it's not just a team to her; it's like a family. Like
exactly.
That's what you need.
Right, but her daughter was, a great volleyball player. Angela was, so she has that mentality. Sure. I didn't mean to jump in.
But then you're right. But then you got both competing against one another, because a lot of basketball players can actually play volleyball because you want
different season.
You want the height.
Yeah. There's only height, and I'm seeing this year. Like I never thought about this until I had a 5th grader. There's so much for like 5th graders and up to do. Like right now with cheer and stuff, and my daughter loves cheer because the coaches are amazing, and like she's surrounded by people like her friends.
I kind of know a couple.
Do you? Nice. Yeah. And she's really going to do middle school cheer, because I think that small little conversation with somebody you may know made her think like, oh, this is really cool. And the cool thing about the cheer for the middle school is you can still play in our league for basketball because there's no conflicts. Completely different times. We're only once a week. And then like even if you're on the school team for basketball, you can still play in ours. There's no conflict. We're not actually a certified type of program. So you can still play in our league. It's not like it's you know how they have the rules. You're not supposed to be in different leagues.
Like about the coaches and stuff like that. Like, of course, yeah, I know the middle school cheer coach and
Yep.
everything. But here's something funny about Melissa is that you look at pictures of her, right?
Mm.
You know, with her kids, right? Very happy, a lot of pride and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You see pictures with anybody else, it's like, okay, you know, stuff like that. You put her with kids from her cheer team.
Yep.
It's just a tick underneath the ones with her kids.
Mm.
There's I mean, I guess that's the buy. You talked about Angela, right?
Yeah.
You know, and the buy-in and stuff that she has. Like, so Melissa and Cindy Briggs as well.
Yep.
You know, I mean, you look at pictures of them with their cheer kids, and it's like you can see it in their faces. You you can't hide that.
No,
you know,
you can't hide joy. Like it's hard. Yeah,
exactly.
And, absolutely.
And I might say they are award-winning cheer coaches. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like, I mean, like, because I think and that's like maybe some of the challenges of like finding like a perfect leader for that. But also like what makes it so sweet when you do is that like, of course, you need someone who's like organized. You need someone who like you know, if they're teaching volleyball, hopefully they know something about volleyball. Or if they're doing cheer, hopefully they know something about cheer. But like, what really makes that person special is when like they also like. Are the kind of person that's going to make those kind of like connections with the kids too. So yeah.
And cheer is a sport. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh,
it is a sport. The CIAC needs to get on that.
I couldn't do it. It's
I watch them. I watch them at different levels, practice. And then of course Melissa's making me watch stuff on ESPN. Like look at this movie. She's always watching.
Yeah.
It's intense and technical. Awesome. Yeah. It's the real deal.
So Cindy says she's out there right now. She says
hi Cindy.
She goes, DMS cheer is awesome. Now here's something that Dave Polino says, which he says, when I was in high school and played football and baseball, there wasn't good enough to make the basketball team. Then you could always play with the church league basketball.
Yeah, I remember that.
They must have that in your area, and the answer to that is no.
No, I used to. So it's very ironic.
We barely have a church.
Yeah, sure. Like it's ironic because I was terrible at sports, and now I'm running them. Like it's a huge irony. I was absolutely terrible. So basketball, I actually used to play in Norwich because I never made any teams. So that was the thing. It was their rec league. It was the PAL league.
They have travel ball now. That's pretty much like the old church leagues, I guess, right?
But travel is like a certain level. Yes. Like you have to be very competitive for that. Whereas before, everybody was included. But I still have. That's a really good talking point because it's something that was in my mind when I first created the league was a nonprofit. It's full circle. The no-offs, like Raymond No-off, who's actually my daughter's teacher this year. And I got to see him. I haven't seen him in years, but he helped us run the first league ever once it was from nonprofit to Parks and Rec. So, that was in the back of mind. Like, what did I do as a kid? What did I enjoy about basketball? The jersey, like being proud of what you were, like showing it off. So that's why that's important to us. And trying to get reps in, like going to the gym. You have to be able to go to the gym. So in basketball, you got to go play basketball to be good at it. So how can you get more reps in a youth league? And thank God for Steve and the Board of Ed. They're helping us use the school whenever we need it.
And what's better than being for learning stuff than being part of a team?
Right. Yeah, and it
gives you so much of an anchor to things in life.
Sure.
Yeah. And a lot of kids who play sports, they may not realize it, but they like that aspect more than the sport. They like knowing, we are in a group. Like I took a picture of
they like to be a part of something bigger than them.
Yeah, exactly.
That they can participate. So.
We took last season. I took a picture of my players in the last game. They just were laying on the court with the G, and they were head to head, just taking it, being fun, having fun.
Sure.
So I remember that more than I did 6 months because they're all happy and they enjoyed it. So that's kind of the idea, and that's why it's successful.
So Phil, one of the things, Dana Cook, the wrestling coach.
Yeah.
All right. So it's because of course Dane, my stepson, was on the team as well as you were. And how long did you wrestle? All 4 years, or?
I didn't wrestle my senior year because I started working at the youth center. Actually.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It's my fault.
But, it's time to move on to something else. But it's funny because you talk about being a part of something else. being a part of the team.
Mm.
Like, it's funny because you look at the wrestling kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're strong brutes. They pick things up, they put them down.
Yeah.
But you watch them before when they're warming up and they're tumbling, and what happens? They cuddle.
Oh, yeah.
They're all laying in the circle, and they're cuddling. It's just the weirdest thing. They don't really actually cuddle, but they're like laying next to each other, talking, and stuff like that. So,
and that was always a great
that camaraderie.
Yes.
That was always a great program. Sorry, mute that. There's always a great program, and owner of Sun Fox is trying to Dave, who's like another person again,
amazing,
doesn't want any credit. Like he literally created the perfect recreation department in his own campground. Like they have everything a Parks and Rec department should have. It's right there in Lisbon, and you can use it.
He did it for many years at another place until he bought his own. So
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that part.
Strawberry Park. He was at Strawberry Park for 20 plus years.
I didn't know that. So it's really cool to see that, but he's like another person that really he's trying to put a wrestling group together like he did last year and let it grow and grow, because Ray, who did it years ago, there was a great program. Everybody that talked about it said how
Sanchez?
great how great youth wrestling was.
Yeah.
And I think Dave is going to have the same effect, because again, if you're not growing and training youth, what are we going to do down the line for the school?
Right.
So, but again, how do you get people to go to Griswold? You have them come to the campus. It's a marketing approach, but you're doing it through programming.
The other thing is, and I just kind of want to wrap up this part of like youth sports, is that lately in the last couple of years, and I don't know if the pandemic, had anything to do with this. I don't know, because we seem to blame everything on the pandemic. I got a hangnail. Oh, it's because of COVID. But with sports, I find that it's not just parents that are going to watch these contests. There are there are fans.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about just high school basketball.
Right.
The big three: football, basketball, and baseball. I'm talking about soccer. The sidelines are pretty much filled. Okay.
Oh yeah.
There's that. Volleyball. Yeah. It is crazy.
Yeah. And that honestly, a lot of those roots stem into your leadership at the high school, that they're building that fan base. The idea of supporting your team, even if you're not in the court.
Yeah.
I mean, I see it at football with Fryer's kid. I mean, it's amazing to see him and all those kids support the football team and cheerleaders, and having him out dancing with the cheerleaders was hilarious. But that's what you need. We did the game at East Line. Yep. Right. And Scott doesn't have his son's not on the football team, and neither is his daughter, because she doesn't play football. Yeah. Yeah. But he was at the game. Yep. Him and his wife Brenda were at the game in East Line. Yeah. So you're talking about fans, and it's not just them; it's so others. Wrestling. If you've never been to a high school wrestling match, then you just have no soul, because
it's thrilling. Yeah,
it is. It is crazy. I'm going to take you this year, Paul. We're just going to go, and it's not like oh my God, he's busted open. It's nothing like that. Break out the singlet. Yeah, it is. You get there. I've never heard so much yelling and screaming from parents. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, and God forbid there's a tournament. You got three matches going at the same time. Yeah. But it is absolutely. It's so energizing when I leave. When I would leave a wrestling match. Oh my goodness. I was so energized. It was unbelievable. Yeah. There was just so much energy in that. And there's a fan base too. There's grandparents and I know my parents love going to everything. Yeah. Because it's their fans. They're of course. That's what I was talking about. Fans of our kids. That kind of went away for a while. Before you would see just parents. Right. And even the student section was dilapidated. Right. Yeah. And now the student section's coming back. Yeah. That's awesome. Because there's pride. Right. Yeah. That's the way it should be. So get the kids here. Yeah, that's the big goal here. There we go. Until you grow a school and keep them loyal. Anything else you want to talk about as far as Spooktopia? Because we kind of sidebarred a little bit, but let's end up our time today talking about some last final
Saturday.
thoughts on
What time does it start?
Spooktopia?
Six
to 9,
o'clock.
right?
6 to 9. Yep. If you're a trunker, you got all your information. I texted and emailed you.
And if you haven't, reach out to him.
Yeah, just text me. I put my number everywhere, which is a good and bad thing, but I put my number everywhere. The other thing is Holiday Helpers, which is the Christmas program. That'll start enrolling November 1st.
Yep.
I work, again, people that don't want credit but are amazing. The social workers at the school.
Yeah, that's a huge project, and yeah, I mean, like the people who donate, the actual sponsors for that, and then of course the social workers. Like that project amazes me every single year. That's an incredible thing that we do.
Like,
that involves so many people. Yeah,
it's cool because and then our building, I don't know, one of these days the roof's gonna blow off the top because our building is so crazy busy all year during the school year, not. I would say during the summer, but we're crazy busy, but we take over a whole school campus. But from September all the way up to June, our building is people in and out, community minded, trying to hand stuff out. Walmart donates a bunch of stuff to us. We get it out to the community. If not, I share it.
Yeah.
They give us, it was 4 or 5 palletfuls of towels.
Mm-hmm.
So I called up Simmons and Plainfield and said, would you like some towels? And he's using it as a promotion for the pool. The idea is try to get this stuff out. But again, this youth center, which is so tiny, and it's just when you go in there, parents are there's kids everywhere. And that's why we have so many staff, which is good. But again, I told the kids yesterday, it comes down to the staff we have makes the kids want to come to the youth center because they're all role models, whether they know it or not. And that's our success is because we have a staff that is diverse and can talk to the people on different levels than this old guy can.
But no, you're right. You're right. I mean, we as we get older, we lose part of that, a part of our own youth, because we're doing other things. So you need people like Phil, and he's getting older. You know what I mean? I mean, no, you're still. I mean, you're not old.
No,
compared to when you first started.
Yeah,
79.
79 actually.
That's what he tells the kids, and every year he adds a year.
That's how time
You've been doing that for a long time, though, haven't you?
Yeah, since 1943. Yeah. Since I was born in September 3rd, 1943.
Yeah, I learned 5 or 6 years ago that I'm not cool anymore, so I need to fill in the gaps of cool people.
I'm not cool. I'm cringy.
Yeah, that's what you know. Yeah,
I think it's cool, cringy, then jaded, and then want to quit. I think that's the progression.
We're keeping Ryan away from that last step, though. Yeah, we're holding on. We're keeping him in jaded for now.
I'm convinced, though, when it comes to stuff like people like our age. Somebody calls us cringy.
Yeah,
that's their way of saying I don't want to admit, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want my friends to know that I really think this is pretty cool. You guys are doing.
I don't know if that's what it is.
Always look on the bright side of life. God.
I tell myself that too. Oh, maybe if they say I'm cringy, I'm just cool. No, it's not it.
Coming up next on SNSN, Bill and the Cringe Fest. Talking about Mike and Ryan, and Paul is extra cringy.
So I'm trying to.
Paul's not really cringy. I can be cringy.
I mean, I think everyone can be cringy. I mean, that's that's humanity, I mean,
I like being cringy.
There you go.
That's the difference.
I'm just saying, I know I do that sometimes with the kids. Sometimes, you drop the kind of awful pun or whatever, and you just watch Phil, why? You just watch part of them die.
It's a collective.
I do think it's really cool though when kids ask you how old you are, and you tell them, the age, and
he holds
is serious about it.
Yeah.
So, all right. This weekend, Spooktopia 6 to 9 at Grizzled High School.
Yep. Bring a bag of candy, more if you want to.
Dress up.
Dress up. Yep. You'll see our staff dressed up, which is pretty cool to see. One thing I forgot to say, Mondays at the Youth Center, the Mystic Seaport comes and they do STEM activities, based on
That's
Seaport
cool.
and Grizzled. They kind of blend the programming. And then coming up, basketball starts November 20th. Enrollment for basketball ends November 1st. What that means is the rate increases $20 more. So don't do that. Just sign up before. because
early.
you'll make my life easier because then I can actually plan and not get. Like last year, we had 107 people sign up in 2 weeks, ending after the
It
deadline.
always happens at the last minute.
Oh God, yeah. It was after the deadline. They all paid more money. I'm like, don't do that. I want you to save money.
Yeah.
But and then we're gonna work with 4-H camp after the winter. Mark Neuer,
Yes.
who was me. Like I actually, when I went to the youth center, he was this job.
Okay.
And when he actually hired me with Paul Berkey. So he is going to do a 4-H program going around robotics and animation, which is kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
And then we want to do art with a teacher that used to teach at our summer camp a couple years back, who owns Mona Lisa right in Grizzle. She just opened an art program business.
Is this at the barn?
Yeah. Yep.
I met her husband Sunday.
Oh, cool. They're
Yeah.
great people.
Yeah.
Her art too. She makes it like my daughter.
It's like right on the corner, right in that old red barn.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Like look up on Facebook Mona Lisa art and get your kids there because it's amazing. But she drew, like she taught the kids at summer camp how to draw this eye using chalks, and my daughter still has it pinned up in her room because it came out so good. So like we're gonna work with her coming up too. So
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, guys. Thank you very much for coming by.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
Yeah,
you don't
thank
come
you.
here enough. And Phil, it was really nice
Yeah,
having you here.
I was really excited actually. I was like, oh yeah, like Ryan brought this up on Monday. I was like, oh yes, I'm looking forward to this. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, nice to be in here.
Because Phil used to be on every
Everything.
single
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah.
You know, and it was honestly, it was hard for me
Mm.
when you said, "I'm moving on."
Yeah, I mean it was hard for me
Yeah.
too.
Oh,
It's,
I
yeah,
know.
you know, it's
Like,
hard.
Yeah.
But it's so good to see you doing well and stuff.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
this is because of me.
It is.
Same
Again,
thing.
fingerprints. There's your fingerprint.
No, it's all him.
Hey, it's true, you know.
All right, Paul. So tomorrow you won't be here, but we have Farouk Rajab coming in tomorrow morning at 9:00. He is the 18th District Democratic candidate facing Heather Summers.
Oh,
So he will be in tomorrow.
okay.
And so that's tomorrow. Of course, then we have a retiree row on Friday. Look at him. He's out of here. He's like, I'm out. Anyway, thank you everybody for
I'm cold.
Is it cold in here?
No, that's just
I don't think so.
Cold in here? I think it's hot in here.
Yeah, I get cold.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody, for stopping by. We'll see you once again tomorrow. And we'll talk to Mr. Rajab, who's opposing Heather Summers in the 18th district. So have a good day. See you tomorrow.